Welcome back, bullet journaling friends. My name is Erin, and let's get set up for July. I haven't really got a theme this month besides kind of a colour scheme. I'm just basing it around my two very favourite washi tapes of the moment. I don't always like to include a cover page, but for July I'm going to on the left page here with my calendar on the facing page on the right side. And I wanted to try out a bolder font, so I jumped on Canva and had a look around, and I found one that I really liked called April Fat Face, and I picked this one because it has kind of chunky letters. I guess that's why it has the name that it has, and I wanted to put some washi tape over my letters. You'll see. Stick around, you'll see. If these two washi tapes look familiar, it may be because you saw them in my 4 monthly calendars video, which I'll pop a link to up in the top right hand corner. They are the Washi Tape Shop's Dreamland 2-piece washi tape set in violet, and they're just so beautiful, so I based my theme around these two washi tapes this time around. So I've picked Tombow dual brush pens to kind of match the colour scheme. And here I'm just laying down those two washi tapes over the top of the July lettering that I went over in fine liner to make it more visible through the washi tapes. And I've split it so the purple is sitting kind of halfway above the top of the July lettering, and the pink washi tape is sitting over the bottom of the July lettering, and I'm using a craft knife just to trace over the lines of the lettering so that when I peel back the washi tape, it stays in just the spaces of the letters. I know it looks kind of intimidating, and the first time I tried it I was like, is this going to cut through my journal pages? But it's actually just as easy as it looks, so give it a try. I really recommend it. Maybe not with a cheap washi tape that tears easily though, because you might not have the easiest time there, but if you use a good quality washi tape you shouldn't have any problems. The right page is for my July calendar, so I've just spaced out 7 boxes across, obviously one for each day of the week, and then 5 boxes down so that I have enough space for all of the days of July. I actually kind of wish I'd centered this more exactly on the page so that it fit very much in line with the July, which is smack in the middle of the left page, but that's okay. It is winter right now in Australia, and I've been really feeling it. Like, I live in a pretty warm city, but my house gets very cold. So I wanted to bring kind of an element of iciness to the layout, so I'm using this iridescent, I guess it's like a contact paper. I've actually used this on my channel before, but it was such a long time ago in my August 2020 bullet journal setup. Wow, that feels like a lifetime ago. And I'm just going to be using it really sparingly throughout this whole setup, just to give a little bit of something to, mostly just like I've done here, the space on a calendar where the initial for each day of the week goes. You can see right now why I wished I'd centered my calendar a little bit better, because it looks a bit strange with the washi tape border that I'm adding to the top and bottom here. And I actually think I went a bit too hard on this washi tape. I definitely wanted both colours represented to tie in the colours in the July header over there on the left side, but I think maybe if I'd just done a little bit in the corners I would have liked it better, because I will do that on the next spread. So you'll get to see what I kind of envisioned. But once it's down on the paper, you know, I'm not going to peel it back up and be like, well, that was a waste. And I don't hate it either, I just think I could have loved it more, that's all. Moving on to my next spread, if you follow my channel and you watch my other Plan With Me videos, you might expect there to be a gratitude log here, which is what I usually do straight after my calendar, but I haven't really been feeling the gratitude log lately and I've kind of been skipping it a lot, so I thought it might be time to give it a rest for a while, and I'm combining instead my musings page, which usually gets a whole page or even spread all to itself, with my goals section, just in this very open concept negative spacey kind of situation here. I'm using the same font that I used on the cover for my headings all the way through this setup, but there was no way I was getting in there with the washi tape and the craft knife on every page multiple times, so instead I'm just using some Tombow dual brush pens to add my lettering this time around. I wasn't sure at this point if I was going to fill it in or not, which is why I've just done the outline, but I did decide to go back in with the brush end and just colour in those thicker spaces. The main two Tombow dual brush pens that I'm using in this setup are the Carnation 761, which is the pink one, and Purple Sage 623. I am also going to use a little bit of the 603 Periwinkle later, just because I needed to introduce a third colour for my mood tracker. And if you'd like to get links to any of the equipment that I'm using in this video, jump into the description box or jump onto the blog post that accompanies this video as well, which has some more close-up photos of all of these spreads, and also, again, links to everything that I'm using. Some of those links are affiliate links, just so you know, so if you choose to make a purchase through those links, I will make a little bit of commission. It's kind of like telling the company I sent you, you know? This time we're going to add washi tape just as a little accent in the bottom left corner and the top right corner, just to make sure there's a little bit of those colors on the page and those patterns on the page without being overwhelming like they were on the previous. Onward now to a spread of trackers. These are the first 2 of 4 pages of trackers. As always, my spending tracker, which is on the left page here. I write down everything that I spend, I tally it up, I keep track of trends, and I try to do better with my spending, and this really helps me. And because I was going for that more minimal kind of vibe, I've left the boxes on this page and also on the next page kind of open, so I didn't close up the boxes. I've kind of just done the inside lines. You know, in Excel, when you go into like format table and you can choose inside and outside, I've just done the inside ones, if that makes sense. In case you were wondering, the headings for the 3 columns are item, cost, and category, and both of these tables are actually the exact same. I just like to put 2 on one page to save space. I used to spread it across a whole double page spread, but I don't need that much space taken up with one tracker, so I've condensed it down for the past, for a while actually. This is one of those pages that really only changes in decoration because it works so well for me that I don't want to mess with it. Another page that doesn't need to change is my phone and sleep tracker, which I know sounds like really boring data to keep track of, and I don't look back at this page. It's just to keep me noticing, I guess, if I'm slipping into bad habits. So I don't even fill this out every day. I'll kind of jump into my phone data and check how my phone use has been going for the past week or so and fill it in all in one go like that. The sleep log, I feel like you kind of know what your sleeping trends are a little bit, but I wear a Fitbit to bed and it tracks my sleep too, so same kind of thing. I'll check my Fitbit data and just fill in when I have time. And sometimes that's the catalyst I need to be like, wow, I need to get to bed earlier tonight, you know, it comes in handy like that. This is always the most dangerous time to zone out when you're writing times down, because I'm tracking from 9 p.m. until 9 a.m. on this phone and sleep track. Oh, that's the space that I can log between. And when I zone out, that's when things go wrong, and I keep going from 12, 13, 14, 15, which might be correct if it was 24-hour time if I was talking about the afternoon, but I'm talking about the morning, so it's still not right. But my trusty white Posca paint pen comes to the rescue once again, and I just colored over those with the white paint pen so I can put the correct times in later once that dries. So when it's time to use this tracker, I will come back in here probably with my purple pen because there is pink elsewhere on the page. I'll just color the times that, the amount of phone use that I had or the times that I slept between, and that's how that tracker works. And I just thought the spending page on the left here looked like it had a bit too much negative space around the heading. So I've grabbed some of the washi tape, cut out a few of the flowers from the pattern, and I'm kind of using those as stickers on either side of the heading. And it looks a bit clunky, but that's fine. Two more trackers to go here. The first one is my habit tracker on the left page. I've been using my PHOMEMO M02 mini printer to set up my habit tracker basically since I got it and worked out that I could do that. I think that was in March, and it just has made my life so much easier. It's not the easiest paper to write on. I think if you just had the white PHOMEMO printer paper, it might be a little bit easier, but I'm using the semi-transparent, which is kind of a little bit disagreeable with some pens, but I'm using the Pigma Micron and it will write on anything. That thing's amazing. So it seems to go okay, but you'd have to be careful not to smudge, I think. You'll see what I mean. Right now it's just headers, but you'll see what I mean. And while the pen's in my hand, I'm going to jump over to the facing page and just add the heading for my mood tracker as well. I've put this one in the center of the page so that my mood tracker can kind of dance all around it, which sometimes I put it at the top, sometimes I'll put it at the bottom. This time I apparently wanted it to go in the middle of the page. Okay, it's printer time, so if what I was saying before made absolutely no sense to you, it will make sense now. So I've made this calendar, and I've had a few people ask me how I do this, so if you have a mini printer and you want this calendar, jump on Instagram, send me a DM, I will send you the printable file for this, so that you can also use this calendar. I'm just going to print it 6 times, and I don't know yet if I'll add the numbers. I ended up using the really small 003 Pigma Micron pen to add the numbers for last month, and I thought I would add them digitally so that I didn't have to write them by hand this month, and then I kind of forgot about it, so we'll have to see. But basically I stick 6 of this little calendar down on the page, and then I'll just draw a little dot in the square for each day if I complete the habit. Not all of them are things that I necessarily need to do every day, and I actually haven't added the habits in here yet because I haven't decided which habits I want to bring with me on my tracker from June yet. So, you know, if you want to see that stuff, jump onto my Instagram and follow along because I like to share some after the pen stuff there. Also, let me know if you'd like to see after the pen things here on YouTube too, and I can pop up some shorts if you'd like to see how everything looks once I fill it all in. Yes, this is the same mood tracker style that I used last month. Recycling is good for the environment, right? I know that's not the case in this particular situation, but I couldn't think of anything else, so I'm just going with the same style of mood tracker. So I have 4 different little plant doodles down the bottom, and I'm drawing a blob for each day of July, and I'm sorry that my camera cut out and you don't get to see me draw the rest of the blobs, but I drew enough of them for the whole month, and each day I'll just add a little doodle on top of the blob that corresponds to that day for the mood that I had that day, or at least the predominant mood that I had that day. But we've moved on now from the mood tracker to the content calendar, and this one hasn't changed either from last month. I've got a calendar comprising of 5 space by 5 space boxes with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on the left page, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the right page. And because I have too many social media accounts, this is where I plan out what's going to go on each one. I don't really have like an Instagram strategy or anything like that, but I do like to make sure that I'm posting consistently and, you know, posting relevant things to go with the YouTube videos because, you know, my channel is kind of tied to my Instagram and so on and so forth. So this is where I do all of that planning, both for this channel and my bullet journal Instagram, and also for my business page. The things you've got to do when you're self-employed and a sole trader. So I have my photography, Instagram and blog going on here as well because that's my full-time job. Because I am Little Miss Type A, I like to have my different socials color coordinated. So I use these friction pens because I change my mind a lot, and friction pens are erasable. So if I decide to move something, I can just erase it and move it and not completely ruin the page or have to use a whole lot of correction tape or anything like that. And to keep things easier on myself, I use the same color for the same social media platform every month. So pink is always my photography blog. Purple is always my photography Instagram, blue is always my bullet journal YouTube channel, and yellow is always my bullet journal Instagram, and that's how I keep on top of this stuff. And last but not least, the weekly, which is what is always sitting open on my desk at any given time because it's where I do all of my to-do lists and tasks and stuff like that. If you know me, you know I love a running task list or a rolling task list, but I have decided to move away from it for this month because I have been a little unmotivated, a little procrastinating lately, and I feel like I need the structure of having a space to put tasks every day so I can be like, look, it's Wednesday, it's time to do laundry, do your laundry on Wednesday, and then when I look at my Wednesday list, I know what I need to do specifically to Wednesday. I've used weeklies like this before, of course, because they're kind of more common than the way I usually do them, but sometimes I am not feeling it, and sometimes I am, and at the moment this is what I'm feeling. And I don't know why I didn't draw those vertical lines on the left page. I honestly didn't realize that I hadn't done them until I got to this part, and I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. Unfortunately, the dots don't perfectly line up between my left and right page, at least in this part of this journal. This is an Archer and Olive A5 bullet journal, which it's my first bullet journal from them, and I really like it so far. I've had the same problem with notebook therapy journals in the past before, but this is a lot more subtle than when I had this issue in a notebook therapy journal, so just things to note, you know. And I learned my lesson from that cover page, so I'm being a little bit more sparing with my washi tape this time around, and I'm actually cutting the pink one down the middle to make it more narrow so that I have less of it on the page here, so it will fit in this space on the left side. And that's it for my July bullet journal. I hope that you got some good ideas from this video. If you were inspired by this in any way and you incorporate anything from this video into your own bullet journal, please send me a photo or tag me on Instagram. I'd really like to see. If this is your first time on my channel and you've made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit subscribe before you carry on. There are some links in the end screen to some other stuff that I've done in case you'd like to keep watching more things from me. And if it's not your first time on my channel, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. It's so special to me that you want to hang out with me, so thank you. I post new videos every Monday at 9 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, so until 9 PM next week, I will catch you in another video or over on Instagram much sooner. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!